coming up on OU Nightly, shots fired at Langston University. The flu arrives in Oklahoma, and OU researchers work to stop a threat to Oklahoma's water. This is OU Nightly. They are relatively small creatures, but mussels play an important role in naturally cleaning Oklahoma's waters, and mussels are dying off.
That's right, and OU Nightly's Hunter McKee shows us what OU researchers are doing to save the mussels and to solve the problem.
It looks clean, but is it? Water from our rivers and lakes that we end up filtering and drinking. But there is a natural water filter that is disappearing: mussels.
They're actually like natural biofilters, so they basically purify the water.
The reason these mussels are dying off: dams have lowered water levels in rivers, and the recent drought only compounded the problem.
They were basically just getting too hot and dying from lack of water.
Brent Tweedy is one of the OU scientists trying to save mussels.
Researching how to keep these ecosystems healthy, we're keeping people healthy as well.
Tweedy is a mussel man, and not the gym version. He is an expert on all different species of mussels and is trying to find one that can survive in harsh conditions.
It's called the three-ridge mussel for the three ridges it has kind of prominently here on its shell. It's one of the more common species.
These mussels are thriving here in the lab, though there's water provided for them. Out there, scientists say there needs to be enough water for them to support us and nature.
We can manage it so that we can, during droughts, we can let enough water out to keep the organisms happy.
These mussels are very sensitive, and it's difficult for them to reproduce after a disturbance in the environment.
They're signaling to us that something's wrong out there.
And that signal is telling us beware, the disappearing mussel. Hunter McKee, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Hunter. Well, one person was arrested for firing shots into the air earlier this morning at Langston University. Students were celebrating homecoming week at a campus hip-hop concert when the shots were fired. Police say the suspect is not a Langston University student. Guns are prohibited on Langston's campus. And changing gears a little bit to weather, today is my ideal day. It was perfect, light breeze, it wasn't too hot.
Yeah, I totally agree. Not too hot, not too cold. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of this weather coming here in the future.
Right. Sawyer, what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, guys. So it was a beautiful day outside, but we will see a cold front start to move through our area tonight and bring those temperatures back down. So let's go and take a look outside our visible satellite. Now, not too many clouds across the U.S. right now. We've got some up in the northeast portion and some off the west coast. Now, clouds will build over New Mexico and start to build into our area overnight tonight, bringing with it a slight chance of some showers, not too much though. As we go ahead and look at our, right now outside, 90 degrees, so it's pretty warm out there. Those winds out of the south at 10 miles per hour and humidity holding steady at 40%. Now, coming up in weather, will we see a record high today? Cooler temps are ahead with that cold front, and we do have the potential for some precip starting next week into next weekend. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sawyer. And while the weather's been nice here, that's not the case in central Texas. A wildfire destroyed at least 9 homes yesterday. The fire spread to more than 3 square miles, and several neighborhoods were evacuated. Luckily, no reports of injuries have been made, and the fire is only 15% contained as of now. And President Obama announced a change in U.S. military strategy. OU Nightly's Hunter McKee joins us now in the News Center with the latest on America's presence in Afghanistan. Hunter?
BJ, and President Barack Obama announced U.S. troops will remain in Afghanistan due to another delay in their schedule. They will stay in the war-torn nation throughout much of 2016. Obama promised in his last campaign to end the war and bring the troops home. But military experts say recent gains by the Taliban have made keeping the troops in place the best option for U.S. interests. Donald Trump and Ben Carson are threatening to withdraw from the next Republican debate. They wrote a letter to CNBC demanding the debate be no more than 2 hours, including commercials, and that each candidate get an open and closing statement. And former House Speaker Dennis Hastert plans to plead guilty after lying to federal investigators. According to Hastert's attorney, he lied about paying someone that he had wronged $3.5 million to stay quiet. He is expected to enter his plea at an October 28th hearing, and then the details are expected to be revealed. And the 10th Living Medal of Honor recipient, Florence Groberg, is a brave Army captain in Afghanistan who saved many fellow soldiers during suicide bomber attacks. Bijan, back to you.
Thank you, Hunter. People on Social Security and other government programs will not receive a cost of living increase next year. The blame goes to cheap fuel, which has lowered the nation's inflation rate. That's what the government uses to calculate Social Security increases.
And the chair of the Oklahoma House Public Safety Committee wants to consolidate 3 of Oklahoma's most important law enforcement agencies. Representative Mike Christian says combining the Department of Public Safety, Bureau of Narcotics, and State Bureau of Investigation would save taxpayer money. He also believes the agencies would become more efficient and that by sharing information and resources, they would become more effective.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, fall, a time of football, pumpkin spice lattes, and the flu. Don't let the flu bug get you down.
And something cute is coming to Norman, and I promise you'll want to get your hands all over it. Stay tuned. Every Thursday, Aaliyah Covington joins us in the studio with Healthy. And Aaliyah, we're hearing another recall on produce. I feel like we've been hearing this a lot lately.
I know. While grocery shopping, people should definitely be checking the dates on their spinach. Dole Fresh Vegetables recently recalled some cases of bagged spinach over salmonella exposure. The FDA reports that Dole distributed the possibly tainted greens in 13 states, which does not include Oklahoma. No illnesses have been reported. And researchers at Britain's Cambridge University say babies born in the summer have a healthier weight and are taller. They found that babies born in summer months fared better on birth weight, height, and age of puberty after observing data from nearly 500,000 people in the United Kingdom. Researchers say the cause is connected to higher dosage of vitamin D. The Oklahoma State Department of Health reports the first 3 confirmed cases of the flu in the state. The department said Thursday that 2 of the cases are in Tulsa County and the 3rd is in Oklahoma County. There are no reports of flu-related deaths. And while the flu remains a big threat, most folks recently recall last year's vaccine didn't work too well. Tonight on Health Beat, OU Nightly's Cindy Hargard talks to medical experts about why this year will be different.
Employees are preparing for another flu season and hoping that this year's flu shot will be more effective than the last one.
Influenza effectiveness is really impacted by whatever strain is circulating come October compared to what strain was included in the vaccine in like February of the same year.
Doherty said students in particular should get vaccinated, even if they're skeptical because of the last flu shot's ineffectiveness, because they spend so much time in close proximity to each other.
Influenza vaccination is extremely important. Even if you do get influenza, it's going to protect you from severe illness and a long duration of illness.
The Department of Health even posts the vaccination's effectiveness online. But is that enough to convince students to get their flu shot?
I typically get my flu shot every single year, regardless of whether or not it's effective or not from the previous years before. And I already got my flu shot this year, so yeah.
Whether or not you get vaccinated, Doherty said one of the best ways to avoid getting the flu is to make sure you wash your hands or use hand sanitizer as frequently as possible. Sydney Heiger, OU Nightly.
Well, definitely sound advice from Sydney.
Right, and I don't think I've gotten my flu shot in like 2 years, so I need to step up my game.
Me too. Needles kind of scare me.
That's true, but I think it's worth it though.
Yeah, definitely.
And students can go to Goddard. It's right down the street. It's
right.
Close, so no excuses. You know?
No excuses.
And
at
luckily,
all.
OU hand sanitizers everywhere now, so no reason why we should be getting sick, right?
Exactly.
Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bijan.
It's never too early to start applying for scholarships, and OU Nightly's Tyler Jones shows us how a once daunting process is now easier to navigate.
Finding scholarships just got a lot easier. The Central Academic Scholarship Hub, or CASH, finds scholarships tailored to your needs.
Applying for scholarships should be easy. There should be one place that you know where to go to. And if you apply for scholarships for journalism, then you're also applying for scholarships in financial aid, and you're applying for scholarships that are campus-wide instead of having to think, okay, I filled out this, now where do I go, and what's the deadline for this next application?
I decided to go and hit the South Oval to see if any students here were having problems with their scholarships and if they knew about CASH. And Gloria, you say you have one scholarship, is that correct?
Yes, I do.
And is that like a freshman incoming scholarship?
No, that's actually a transfer academic scholarship.
Okay, great. And so you're looking to acquire more scholarships?
Absolutely.
And what if I told you that there was a website that you could log into and give all your information and it would send you a hub of scholarships that were ready for your picking.
No freaking way.
Do you feel like that this scholarship hub is something that you would use?
I think I'm definitely going to use that because like money is a big thing in college, and that's a really good way to get scholarships, so I'll definitely look at that and check it out.
Baker says the scholarship hub is open to any current OU student and encourages all students to apply for as many as possible. Tyler Jones, OU Nightly.
For more information and to check out cash, log on to scholarships.ou.edu.
And the federal government has thrown a life preserver to Oklahomans who like to travel. The state now has a full year to comply with the Real ID Act, which state lawmakers rejected in 2005. Real ID requires everyone to have identification that complies with the act in order to board planes or enter military facilities. And still ahead on OU Nightly, a big week in baseball. We'll talk about the bat flip heard around the world.
And Sawyer is standing by with weather.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Looking over campus right now, it's beautiful, but clouds will start to build in as we go through the overnight hours. I'll have more on that next. Right around 9 degrees, and then as we go into the Oklahoma City area, we're looking at the temperatures a little bit cooler. Now
Sorry for the technical difficulties we're having.
Well, we will move on to another story about the Pride of Oklahoma. They received game balls for that OU Tennessee game. Athletic Director Joe Castiglione and head football coach Bob Stoops, they gave 124 game balls to the Pride members that were in Knoxville. If you don't remember the game, it was a close game, double overtime, but the Sooners pulled it away 31-24, and a lot of that goes to the Pride because they were in there every second of the game. They were loud. We really enjoyed having them there. And going off of that, Carson Williams is standing by with sports. Carson?
Thanks, BJ. And the Sooners will face another tough quarterback this weekend against K-State. And a few preseason Big 12 basketball polls were released today. I'll have that and more. Sports is straight ahead. And welcome aboard. I'm Carson Williams. This is OU Nightly Sports. Last week, Oklahoma was unable to contain Jerrod Hurd's ability to run the ball. This week against K-State, the Sooners will face another quarterback who can burn defenses on the ground. They proved it last week, hanging 45 points on TCU, the number 4 team in the country. The defensive line knows they'll need to step up to prevent a repeat of what happened last week.
It's going to be another exciting game for us up front. We're going to have a lot of opportunities to make plays, and we got to make the plays up front. It's going to start with the big three in the middle. If we go out there and we dominate them up front and take the fight to them, because they're kind of more conservative, so we have to take the fight to them and really insert our aggressiveness early. And if we do that, we can have a lot of fun up front.
Everybody knows they're very disciplined. They always work hard, and they're very physical. And at the same time, we got to match that. We got to be very disciplined, very physical back at them.
Yeah, this is a statement game for us up front and just to the Big 12 period, because if we go out there and we dominate K-State, they lost 2 games with 2 field goals with 2 great teams. So if we go out there and we dominate them, we show ourselves that we're capable, and we show everybody else that their last game was just a fluke.
And even though we're in the heart of football season, the Big 12 preseason basketball poll was released today. The league's coaches slotted Oklahoma number 2, only one behind the Kansas Jayhawk dynasty. Iowa State, Texas, and Baylor round out the top 5. Oklahoma State picked 7th. Also released today, the USA Today coaches preseason poll. Sooners check in at number 8. Other news in Sooner sports this weekend, the number 9 ranked Oklahoma golf team travels to Georgia for the U.S. Collegiate Championship. Tennis has the ITA Central Regional Championships. The men are in Fayetteville and the women are in Stillwater. Soccer travels to Waco to take on the Baylor Bears. And Sooner volleyball hosts K-State right here in Norman. In baseball, the Cubs are continuing to ride the winning wave after dropping the Cardinals in the NLDS. The Cubbies blasted a handful of home runs, but none more monstrous than Kyle Schwarber's. Now, the organization has recovered the ball and sealed it in a glass case where it will remain until the end of the season for good luck. Still unsure how big of a deal this is for people of Chicago? Well, security will be guarding the ball 24/7 until its removal. In the American League, Rangers-Jays Game 5 last night. Not one, not two, but three, yes, three errors for the Rangers in the 7th inning. All that setting up this. Jose Bautista, gone. That thing was crushed. Upper deck. Jose Bautista, bat flip. Toronto would go on to win 6-3 and advance to the ALCS. And here's another look at the Jose Bautista home run. Wait, no, that's just a kid lookalike in the stands. We don't have the video. Here we go. Here's the video. Jose Bautista, lookalike kid. He's going for it, and boom. Jays fans better hope this kid takes a break from school and travels with the team, helping out Jose Bautista on home runs for the rest of the postseason. Guys, I can't believe that his parents got that on camera right before he, blasted it out.
And good swing.
Yeah,
he has a future.
He does have a future. The Blue Jays might have to call him up after the real Jose Bautista hangs it up.
I bet he was really excited about that.
Yeah, good time.
And the beard, too.
Yeah.
Fear the
Yeah.
beard.
Oh,
He looks good
yeah,
in the beard.
definitely. He looked
Awesome.
good.
Thank you, Carson.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Sorry for the technical difficulties earlier, but I'm sorry. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our current temps across the Sooner State right now. 90 degrees here in Norman, 88 in Oklahoma City, and you can see up in Guyman where that cold front is starting to make its move down south. It is 79 degrees, so that will continue to move through the area as we go on throughout tonight. Now, looking at our overnight lows tonight. Now, that cold front has already passed through by 7:30 in the morning. 55 up in Guyman, 58 in Woodward, and then looking over to the southeast part of the state, 61 in Idabel. That will be the hot spot for the overnight hours. Now, afternoon highs tomorrow are going to be a lot cooler than they were today. 69 here in Norman, 74 in Ardmore, and then 79 down in Idabel. Now, as you can see, that cold front has already moved through the state. That will bring a chance for some showers and thunderstorms through the overnight hours, only expecting about a 10% chance, so not too much in that area. Looking at our predictor, this is at 4:30. You can see that cold front is just at the tip of Oklahoma up in the northern areas, and that will continue to move south as we go on throughout the overnight hours. Now, we're expecting a high today of 93 in Oklahoma City, and that will break our record of 92, but right now our current conditions outside, I believe, is right at the record. So this model is running a little bit warm, I believe. Now, as we go to 10 p.m. tonight, that cold front has moved south, just right around the Norman area. You can see 68 in Oklahoma City, and then a chilly 55 up in Kansas City. And like I said, that is again tonight, and this cold front will continue to move south through the Dallas area by 7 a.m. tomorrow. So as you're going to work, 60 degrees down in Dallas, 59 here in Oklahoma City. Now, your game day forecast, OU versus Kansas State up in Manhattan. Now, kickoff and halftime, we're looking at 65 degrees, so it's going to be pretty steady throughout the entire game. And as we go to the fourth quarter, 60 degrees, so it will be a little chilly. If you are heading up to Kansas State, make sure to take a jacket with you, and everything should be fine. We're not expecting any rain to impede on the game. Now, looking at the 7-day forecast, you can see 69 tomorrow, 73 on Saturday, and then sunny skies on Sunday and Monday, 77 and 79. Lows will be in the upper 40s to low 50s across the entire state. And then as we go on into Monday and Tuesday, we see those on Tuesday, we see the 50% chance of showers and some thunderstorms coming back into the state, 40% chance on Wednesday, and then as we go on into Tuesday and Wednesday, again, highs will be in the mid to upper 70s. So guys, it's looking beautiful outside. Go on out. Hopefully we will see some of that rain to help out with the drought a little bit.
Thank you, Sawyer. Yeah. And Pam Ortega is standing by at the OU Nightly news desk. Pam?
I'm Pam Ortega at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The Department of Homeland Security has given Oklahoma a 1-year extension to comply with the Real ID Act. That prevents Oklahomans from having to use a passport to board planes or enter military bases. Hundreds of Tulsa students gathered at Union High School to rally for prayer at football games. And the Tony Award-winning musical Ragtime tonight will highlight the newly renovated LCC Brackett Theater at OU. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Pam. And it's starting to get colder outside, and some of you may be looking for a cuddle buddy. Well, this might be exactly what you're looking for. The Norman Animal Welfare Department is holding an adoption event on October 25th for the 65 dogs which were confiscated from the recent animal cruelty case.
These people are giving this dog a new hope, a newfound hope, a new home, a new environment to enjoy and spend the rest of their life enjoying. And so I think there's something special that people take with that.
And if you're interested in adopting, you can register at www.normanok.gov. And I heard so many people have registered that they're actually going to have to draw names out of a hat.
Wow.
Yeah, there's been a lot of public interest in this story because we remember these are the puppies that were pulled from the puppy mill operation. So there have been a lot of people who've been wanting to kind of adopt those out.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You have a great evening.